Welcome back to Fox City Stadium here in Grand Chute, Wisconsin, as we wrap up the fourth day of the 2010 Division III Baseball Championships, and we still have 3 teams left. We did manage to eliminate Heidelberg, but nobody else, as Cortland State defeated Illinois Wesleyan by the score of 11-10, and before that, Linfield eliminated Heidelberg 6-4, so we will have still tomorrow Linfield and Cortland State. That is an 11 a.m. Central Time first pitch, and then following will be the winner against Illinois Wesleyan. I'm Pat Coleman, he's Jim Dixon, and Jim, starting with that first game, the Linfield-Heidelberg game, it was a game in which Heidelberg had the game well in hand for, about 2 hours and 7 minutes of the 2 hours and 17.
They really did, but you got to look at Heidelberg. They're swinging the bats, but when you look at the defense they're playing very good defense. They're the best defensive team in the tournament. There's no reason why they were not in that position.
Linfield, of course, comes back, and they hit a grand slam off of Heidelberg's closer, Andy Lowe. It was Red Fenton coming up with the bases loaded and the chance to get the big hit, and a big hit had eluded Linfield for quite some time. They'd had just, of course, 1 run in the first 7 innings, and they got shut down the stretch yesterday as well.
Absolutely. This was the first game-winning hit for Fenton, and he was very excited about getting it. He'd never been in that position before, and now he knows what it's like. Linfield Wildcats have been here before. They're doing what they need to do, and they still got the pitching left to sit there and contend on tomorrow.
Linfield got to rest the rest of the afternoon. I would be remiss to not point out Tommy George's relief appearance, 5 2/3 shutout innings. 5 hits, did not walk anybody, striking out 3. To be honest with you, after the first few innings that Heidelberg put together, reaching Robert Vaughn for 4 runs in 3 1/3 innings, it was a season-saving relief appearance, really.
Absolutely. Tommy George was magnificent on the mound. Certainly he came through, and he had the better relief appearance between him and Lowe. Lowe's the All-American. Tommy George has just made a statement to say, look for me next year.
So Linfield advances. They will play Cortland State here, as I mentioned, at 11 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. And of course, as we know, rather infamously, Linfield and Cortland State have already played once in this tournament.
Absolutely, and I think Cortland is looking for second chances. They saw what Linfield threw at them, and they know that they got a big game tomorrow. But they're looking forward to it, and they're happy to be playing Linfield once again.
So Cortland State defeated Illinois Wesleyan, as we mentioned, 11-10. Cortland State walks off on a game-winning double by Sean Bailey in the bottom of the 9th, hit the ball to the 325 sign in the right field corner. I want to get your opinion on this, Jim. I did not get the impression that Illinois Wesleyan mailed in this game in any respect. They started, one of their top guys. They ended up not using Joe Sweeney out of the bullpen, but they had him warming up at several occasions throughout the course of the afternoon. And I thought that even though Illinois Wesleyan could afford to lose and still come back Tuesday, I didn't get the impression that they threw away the throwaway game.
Absolutely. The Titans wanted to win this game. They were saving Sweeney because they might need a second game tomorrow, and they need 2 starting pitchers. So they now have Sweeney that they're not going to be able to need. He's going to be in the bullpen. They got Pacquiao sitting there rested. And certainly they didn't mail this in. But when you talk to the Titans, they said it was a very strange situation to be in, where winning the game didn't win you anything.
Well, and I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with that. I can see why the players would say that publicly, and the coaches may have drilled that into them. But, what Illinois Wesleyan would have gained by winning this game, of course, is they would have had 2 chances on Tuesday to beat Linfield once and win the national championship. Now, they do get to sit and wait while Linfield and Cortland State battle each other out. But in the end, Illinois Wesleyan is going to have just 1 chance to win that game.
Absolutely, and that's what they're expecting to see. They're expecting to see Linfield and Cortland battle out, beat each other up, and then they're going to come up and pick up the pieces.
So we're looking at Jason Pankow, as you mentioned, to probably get the start for Illinois Wesleyan. That's what Dennis Martell said on Sunday night was most likely. Pankow has thrown 2 complete games over the course of this 10-game winning streak that Illinois Wesleyan just had snapped earlier this afternoon. 2.0 ERA in those 2 games. He's allowed 14 hits, 1 walk, struck out 13 and 18, and he's had a great season, but he's been very dominant, like almost everybody else for Illinois Wesleyan over the last month or so.
Absolutely, we're going to have Illinois Wesleyan's number 1 coming back tomorrow to pitch in that championship game.
And I think we feel relatively secure. We'll see Ryan Larson in the first game for Linfield, and if he can go. If he can go more than 9 innings, they may see him in the second game if they advance. For Cortland State, I think it's a bit of a question. Is Travis Ratliff going to come back and pitch? And if not, yikes, who?
I don't know. You need to have Travis Ratliff coming by pitching you. One of the things that, with all the runs that they've been scoring, Portland's been pulling their starters early. And the coach joked earlier that he has lots of starters with lots of innings left on them because they haven't made it through this third inning. So Portland has a lot of options, but Ratliff is going to have to pitch for Portland to come away with the national championship. And Linfield certainly has Larson sitting there ready to go, and Dorn on 3 days rest. They got 2 excellent pitchers. I think we're going to see some good baseball tomorrow.
The Cortland pitching line, the way it ran out this afternoon, Chris Genske, I don't know how he managed to stay in the game for 5 1/3 innings. They had somebody warming up, basically from about the second inning on. He did get into the 6th inning. He gave up 7 runs all earned, gave up 11 hits, walked a couple, only struck out 1. But, I thought Brandon DeRosa did a pretty good job in relief for 2 innings. Michael Mahey had a strong relief outing on Sunday. Today, an inning and 2/3, gave up a run, and then Brendan Harahan comes in and he gets the win because they walked off for him in the bottom.
You really got to look at the Cortland offense, making the pitching staff last. They need the innings, and they were able to sit there and put in starters who really weren't having the days that they've had all season. So it was good for Cortland to have a lot of runs, but they're giving up a lot of runs. So who knows what we're going to see tomorrow from Cortland.
And, of course, the offensive stars for Cortland, not just Bailey with the walk-off, but Anderson Gardner with the 3-run homer, his 3rd homer of the tournament, 10th homer of the season. That in the first inning, really, and to be honest with you, that's a big 3 runs for Cortland, because Illinois Wesleyan had scored 3 runs in the top of the first, and Cortland, 3 batters into the game, they tied it up.
Absolutely, and I think that's the way Cortland's been playing the entire tournament. They've been scoring runs, and they've been giving their pitchers the support they need. This is a group of players who do not quit, and they know that when given their chances, they're going to sit there and they're going to bear down, they're going to struggle, but they're going to come up with the runs that they need to win.
So to recap, Portland State or Linfield must win 2 games tomorrow in order to win the national championship. Illinois Wesleyan has to win 1 game. That's the only game they'll play. They do not get a second chance because they lost this afternoon. So those games, again, it will be Cortland State against Linfield at 11 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. for Linfield fans, noon for Portland fans. I don't think either of you will be able to drive here in time for the game. I'm sorry. And then, of course, the winner faces Illinois Wesleyan in a game that is scheduled to tip off at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. He's Jim Dixon. I'm Pat Coleman with all the football and basketball metaphors. Stay tuned to D3Baseball.com for one more day of Division III baseball championships action. And we're signing off from Grand Chute, Wisconsin.